The rising freshman star on the Duke men's basketball team is inking a deal with Gatorade. The 17-year-old is Duke's next college basketball star and the projected number one pick in 2025. He is now inked in with Gatorade on an NIL contract. He left his hometown high school of Nokomis Regional High in Maine and attended Mount Verde Academy in Florida to finish his high school career. This is the Sports Business Minute presented by the FAU MBA in Sport Management program. Accelerate your career in sports with the program committed to developing top-notch executives and managers with a focus on the job placement for students and graduates. The FAU MBA in Sport Management program.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Yo, Micah Parsons, we gonna get you out of there, little bro. Just stay tapped in. I got you. We're delivering sports presidential pardons today.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. It's your boy Theo Dorsey. C-Cat is on the other side of the glass on the ones and the twos. And, boy, I really wish we had something going on this Tuesday, C-Cat. Really a dry day, slow news day, nothing going on in sports, nothing going on in the world. Everybody's just chilling back, sitting back on the couch, waiting for some momentum to shake, man. What you up to tonight?
This is the day that you start binge watching a TV show.
Yeah.
When nothing's going on.
Yeah.
Say, oh, you know what? I haven't watched Scrubs yet. Let's pop it on Netflix.
Like about a week ago, we had the sports equinox, where we had every single major professional sports league in action on one night, including a World Series game. And that day, we were like, we need an Octobox to keep up with all the action. Today is a bit of a snoozer. Not much going on, especially right here in Palm Beach County, especially not right here a mile away from where we are in our City Place studios. C-Cat, wow. We have the college football playoff first rankings. That's going to be issued out tonight in prime time on ESPN. But I fear nobody will be watching. I fear there's going to be very few eyes on that because also there's going to be the breakdown of the NFL trade deadline.
Exactly. We need Shefty. We need all hands on deck.
Yeah, we need an update on all of these maneuvers and negotiations that are going on. By the way, in about 20 minutes, just bringing in our friend, former general manager of the New York Jets and front office insider for ESPN, Mike Tannenbaum, to help us break down the major trades going on. The trade deadline ends in 2 hours here at 4 p.m. Eastern. Also, though, on this Tuesday, it is officially Election Day. Mm-hmm. Election season. We are voting in the new leader of the free nation today, so that is obviously on everybody's mind. But when I think about that, I'm like, yeah, that's important. You know what will be more important, C-Cat?
What's that?
If we had like a president of all sports.
We need them.
If we had like one person who was able to be, and I'm not talking about president because that's too like, that's too democratic.
A lot of checks and balances of the presidency. How much power do they really have? No.
I want a legislative branch and and an executive branch and all. I want total rule, complete authority. What you put there, totalitarianism.
Yeah.
I want it all to be in my hands. And if I were the president of sports, I would rule in good faith, though. I'm not the type of guy, like, I love fair play. I love, a championship, a win, any kind of success doesn't feel as good if you know that you either, you shortcut it your way, you cheated to it. So I would still rule with a iron fist, but also I wouldn't be, like you put Tom Brady or any Michigan man in charge, then they'll screw it all up.
I got you. We got to vet the person that's in charge of all sports.
Yeah.
It's a big title. It's not a commissioner. No. They are the ruler of sports as we know it.
It's like a dictator. I become a dictator of sports if I'm elected into this presidential position. And obviously, the only reason why anybody wants to get into the office is so you can do the fun thing that presidents do on the way out, and that is the presidential pardon. And what a timely day, because it is trade deadline day in the NFL. We've seen countless superstars. This year it feels like more than ever we have seen like huge names, not just solid names, huge names, star players at pivotal positions go from bad franchises to amazing places where they can contend. Think about before deadline day. We'll get to the trades that just happened, but for your Baltimore Ravens, Derrick Henry was in the rut with his career when he was playing for that Titans organization that was literally, it was Henry or bust every single year. What are they going to do? Turn it around and give it to number 22. Now he's with the Ravens, set to potentially break some records in the backfield with Lamar Jackson and also do something more important, contend for a championship. Derrick Henry was pardoned. Derrick Henry is free.
Yes. And he's having a beautiful second life to his career because of it.
Yes. And speaking of those Titans, it didn't happen on trade deadline day. It happened about a week ago, or DeAndre Hopkins, former Titan, really a former Texan and a former Cardinal. He went from Tennessee to the Kansas City Chiefs. And the reason why we're going to be giving out presidential pardons here within the realm of sports is because literally the reaction I heard from DeAndre Hopkins following that Monday Night Football win by the Chiefs, the sudden death victory, 30-24 in overtime, the Kareem Hunt touchdown. But before that, there was two DeAndre Hopkins touchdowns from the hands of Patrick Mahomes. And he had 86 yards. He had a ton of catches. And then he had this post-game moment on Monday Night Football, which elicited some just overwhelming emotions out of me because I know how he feels.
I mean, I manifested this. I seen this already. You know, for my mom, we knew this day would come, and I'm just being present in the moment.
Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Does that sound like a man that just won a regular season game?
Yeah, we against the Buccaneers without the two top weapons,
right?
Battered and bruised. Probably shouldn't have been in overtime with that team.
No. But that sounds like a man that it's bigger than him just winning a game. It's bigger than him having a 2-touchdown day because remember, just last year with the Titans and Will Levis's debut, he had 3 touchdowns. He's been here before. He's done these things at a high level before, but Nuke sounded like that post-game because he knows that he is stepping into a realm unknown to him before. He knows he is now playing games that matter again, and he hasn't done so since back when he was with Deshaun Watson in Houston before Deshaun Watson went over the edge. Now he's playing with the real Michael Jordan of football and Patrick Mahomes, and the emotion you heard in DeAndre Hopkins' voice, that's the sound of freedom. That's the sound of being presidentially pardoned. Now, we only have 2 more hours before the trade deadline ends here, though, C-Cat, so we're going to have to elicit some more presidential pardons for people in sports. We're acting as the president of sports, and if you were elected today, if people casted their ballots and you were the one in charge, who would be the first player, coach, maybe even a fan out there that you would give a presidential pardon to in order to free them from their previous situation and put them in a better space? And we saw it with Derrick Henry. We saw it with Saquon Barkley. We saw it with DeAndre Hopkins. Can I go through the list today, C-Cat?
Yeah.
We had a few today, few big-time trades in the NFL, right? Like on deadline day in the NFL, it's not like the NBA. Really, Major League Baseball has had a tick up in their deadline day more so than years before I'm starting to notice. But the NBA usually dominates it. The NFL is usually more quiet. But we got some fireworks early on. We have Zadarius Smith, edge rusher for the Browns. He's headed to the Lions in place of Aiden Hutchinson, a 5th and a 6th round pick for Zadarius Smith. He being pardoned from a poor situation. This kind of feels a little iffy here. But the Cowboys traded a 4th round pick for Jonathan Mingo, the receiver for the Panthers. Like, he's going from the Panthers, which is, again, one of the worst organizations in all of sports. So, yes, congratulations, you've been pardoned. The Cowboys? Is that a place you want to go right now?
You know what? What this does for Jonathan Mingo is 25 years from now, when he has his man cave, hopefully he makes some good investments and makes the most out of his time in the NFL. The jerseys that he hangs up in his basement, in his man cave, it'll be cool to have one of those being a Dallas jersey.
Yeah.
Right? There's kind of a lack of flavor with the Panthers jersey. But a Cowboys jersey, that's pretty sick to put in a frame and hang up.
Whenever you are associated with that franchise, either you used to work for it, like our guy, Todd Fleming, CEO of the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches, and people hear you were affiliated with the Dallas Cowboys, it does resonate a little bit more.
Now, that's going to be 25 years in the future. Right now, no, it sucks. You have more expectations, and you are going to disappoint everybody.
Also, like, Did you see Jerry Jones saying Dak Prescott likely to go on IR with that hamstring? That means at least 4 games without Dak. That means Cooper Rush. And this is a team that said they were all in. Look at the receivers that teams that are actually all in went and got. The Chiefs got D-Hop. The Jets got Devontae Adams. The Bills got Amari Cooper. Like, come on. Like, hell, the Ravens got Deontay Johnson.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way, the team that was all in got like the 5th best wide receiver for the Panthers. Yeah, they didn't even get Deontay Johnson.
Exactly. They wanted Deontay Johnson. They didn't have Deontay Johnson money, little bro. Like, enjoy Jonathan Mingo for you, champ. That's how it goes with them.
Here's a bad sign, by the way, too. If you're a contending team out there and you're on the market trying to get a player, if a team selected, and this is in Jonathan Mingo's case, if a team selected a guy with a premium pick, the 2nd-round pick for the Panthers last year when they got Mingo, and the very next year they're willing to trade him for a 4th-rounder, they're willing to lose 2 rounds of value and a year to get off of that player? Yeah. I don't know. That might say something more about the player, right? Like,
yeah, I think the Panthers probably know more about the capabilities and the limits and the possibilities of Jonathan Mingo than the Cowboys do. I think it's fair to say.
But the Cowboys are all in, though, so they got it. Maybe they're light years ahead as well, like the Warriors, and they know something that the Panthers and we don't know. But hell, they went out and swung for the fences and got Jonathan Mingo. Household name Jonathan Mingo to add to that receiver core in Dallas. This was a big one. The Washington Commanders are first place right now in the NFC East, 7-2. Jaden Daniels isn't just getting Offensive Rookie of the Year nods. There's a lot of folks talking MVP conversation with the rookie quarterback out of LSU. They trade a 3rd and a 4th-round pick. They get a 6th-round pick back, and they get Marshawn Lattimore, Pro Bowl corner from the New Orleans Saints, who, by the way, again, that's a presidential pardon right there. If he didn't get freed, he was going to be miserable living out the rest of his days with the Saints, who are on a 7-game losing streak, who just fired their head coach and are, for the past 4 or 5 years, their trajectory has been nowhere.
The best thing that happened to the Saints this year is earlier today, the Pope tweeted about the Saints. The Pope was tweeting about like religion and stuff.
Yeah.
But he did hashtag Saints. So it had the little Saints logo next to it.
That's so cute. That's dope.
Right?
I wonder if he saw it. It was just like, oh, that's a nice little flair. We'll keep going. We'll send it out.
You think the Pope is tweeting out stuff? You think he's got a nice little iPhone and he's like, you know what? This is actually a good one. I think the rest of the world should see this.
I always try and debate it out. Like when I'm looking at highly important people and seeing the messaging either coming from Twitter, Instagram, or even like, so Wiz Khalifa texted me. He was one of the people to text me ahead of the election. And when Wiz Khalifa texted me, I was like, this wasn't Wiz.
Nah, Wiz is not saying, you know, Theo needs to vote.
You need to go vote.
Make sure Theo votes.
By the way, if y'all haven't voted, go vote. But don't do it because Wiz Khalifa told you to. Do it because, that's your whole, constitutional right thing. Yeah, Wiz Khalifa texted me. I knew it wasn't Wiz. When certain people tweet, it's not them. Like Joe Namath, who's a Palm Beach County resident now, the last quarterback to deliver a Super Bowl to the New York Jets. And he might be the last ever to deliver a Super Bowl to the New York Jets. I had an inkling he wasn't the one doing the tweeting from his account, and when I got on an interview with him, I asked him, and he said, "Hell no." I think it's like his daughter or something. Yeah, he's like, "I'm not doing that."
Yeah, the Saints are ugly. The Saints make me sad.
Yeah,
that's what the Saints do nowadays.
They do.
I'm happy. I mean, I know a couple of Commanders fans, and the one thing they wanted going into this week was a cornerback.
That's what
they
need
wanted
most.
Someone in the secondary in general.
Yeah, they need most help in the defensive secondary. They have now you have to consider them legitimately. Like when you bring in an outside corner, the level of Lattimore, as long as the health is good, as long as the tread on the tires aren't too worn, like he's only 28 years old. That could be the kind of piece that does get them over the Eagles, because when you face the Eagles, you got to find somebody to stand in front of number 11. That's a daunting task.
Not to get too inside football, but poor Tyrann Mathieu, who's still in New Orleans.
Oh, man.
He's still a Saint. And, game recognized game. I'm sure Tyrann Mathieu loved having Lattimore there with him and embracing the struggle together in the same secondary. Now he's alone.
Free to homie. Also, by the way, I know a place, Kansas City, that would love and welcome him back in with open arms. Tyrann Mathieu, if you're out there listening, I know you're home. I know, Louisiana is the crib, but, paradise is on the other side. You know what that feels like. Who would you offer a presidential pardon to if you were elected the president of all of sports? Who would you give your pardon to the same way that we've seen these great stars of the sport be freed this year? DeAndre Hopkins, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, recently Marshawn Lattimore, Zadarius Smith. These are guys maybe not as big of a namesake, but definitely have an impact on the football field. Who would you offer your presidential pardon to? For me right now, the number one guy that I wish we can pull away from the grasp of his organization and put him with a quality team, a well-run front office, and a better roster is in the actual National Basketball Association, and it's my guy, Anthony Edwards. Free Ant.
He had a good season last
year.
year.
Free my dog Ant. Yeah, he had a good season because they got Anthony Edwards. The Ant-Man is the reason why anything good has been happening to the city of Minneapolis and the squad that is the Timberwolves. He still has to play basketball in pivotal minutes in big-time series with Rudy Gobert being his big man. They got rid of Karl Anthony Towns. Yeah, that might be good. That might be bad. I don't know. But Rudy Gobert is still trotting his slow-footed ass up and down that court. Still getting crossed up, dunked on left and right. I think he already got dunked on twice already. We're only like 6 games into the season. Free the Ant-Man. I would give him my presidential pardon literally as I'm like, you know how like the inauguration happens and, you know, you have somebody come out and you sing the song. What is that? The national anthem. By the way, when Jennifer Lopez sung the national anthem at that last inauguration, that was the day that I learned about the song. What was it?
America the Beautiful.
No. Come on. I know America the Beautiful. Let's Get Loud.
Wait, you've never heard of the song Let's Get Loud?
I had never heard it. I don't know how. You know how some things just pass you and you don't really, it doesn't resonate with you? I had never heard Let's Get Loud until literally that. And I was confused. I was like, why did she say Let's Get Loud after she sung the national anthem? She just yelled it. And I was like, what the hell did that mean?
Are you like, wait.
I'm being serious.
You never heard the song
No, I haven't.
Let's Get Loud?
I have now, but back when she sung it at the inauguration, I didn't know what it was.
Like, when did she do this? What inauguration? What year?
The last inauguration, I think.
In 2020. How have you never heard that song before?
Just never came up. I mean, I'm not playing J-Lo in the whip. Like, and I'm not going to places that's blasting J-Lo either. Like, unless it was in a movie or a commercial, why would I know Jennifer Lopez's Let's Get Loud?
Because you are a conscious being on planet Earth. That's why.
What stations is that going on? I'm not saying it's not a popular song. And since I heard it, I have heard it a couple of times, like here and there. Yeah, get to the end of it. Is that her or is that the real song? Is that the inauguration?
Yeah.
It's not the inauguration.
No, this is just a song.
Yeah. Let's Get Loud. I like it. It's a good song.
That's crazy.
Okay, well.
That's like, I've never, see, not.
You don't know who Tracy Ellis Ross or Diana Ross is.
All right, fair enough.
That's crazier. I mean, like, it's just one song. I know J-Lo, though. Jenny from the Block. Who would you give your presidential pardon to? We got way off track there. I'm sorry, but I would immediately give it to Anthony Edwards in the NBA. We do want to stick on the NFL, even though I broke the rules off the bat. That's what I'm able to do because I am the president of sports. You don't get to tell me otherwise. Brian in the YouTube chat, presented by Prize Picks here at Theo Speaking on YouTube, by the way. He says, did Davante Adams get pardoned for one crime and then went out and committed another? Whew. What Davante Adams did was he got pardoned, and then you know how like when somebody gets out and sometimes they go right back to, you know, their old clique, the old homies, the old gang, and it's like you're not doing wrong, but you're hanging out with the wrong people again. That's what Davante Adams' situation is. He was pardoned from a horrible situation, but then he went back with the crew that kind of got him there in the first place.
Yeah.
He's not doing any wrong.
Familiar quarterbacks. What can go wrong?
Yeah.
I have a relationship with Aaron Rodgers through my years in Green Bay. I have a relationship with Derek Carr from my time in high school.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's not good. It's sure. It got you to the NFL.
Carr, but
yeah. Sure, it got you to the NFL, but NFL is a little bit different than college. Would you say?
I would say so. And if I was advising Davante Adams, I would have told him, hey, we're going to get you out of there. We're going to free you. We'll give you your presidential pardon, but you can't go back hanging out with the old homies again. You got to find new friends, find a new surrounding, find somewhere that is going to be healthy for you, additive for you, and not something that's going to sink you back down into the gutter like he is right now with the New York Jets. I literally had that problem like 4 years ago or so. One of my buddies that just got out, he hit me up to go pick him up. I picked him up, and one of the first things he did when he sat in the passenger seat of my car was ask me, he's like, yo, can we run by this dude's house? I want to go have a little, quick chat with him. I'm like, well, buddy, ain't Buddy the same reason why you was in there in the first place? Why the hell would I come pick you up after you get locked up And then you gonna want me to bring you right back to how you got there in the first place. Last time I ever talked to that dude. I did drop him off at home.
Good for you.
Yeah. Last time I ever talked to that dude. You ain't gonna get me stirred up in that mess. But that's what happened to Devontae Adams. Nobody had a big homie like Theo to guide him back to safety. He went right back into the bosom of the place where he first was a little bit corrupted. And there they are with the New York Jets out there selling hope just so they can inevitably crush the dreams of these optimistic Jets fans. I feel bad for Jets fans right now. I wish I could give them a presidential pardon from their fandom the way that Baker Mayfield gave me mine from the Panthers. 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. Who in sports is most in need of a presidential pardon from their franchise, from their city, from their situation? Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline or drop it in the YouTube chat at Theo Speaking on YouTube. And, of course, on Twitter as well at ESPN West Palm. 888-760-3776. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline. Are you experiencing foot and ankle pain and need to see an expert in the field? Baptist Health Orthopedic Care is a team of foot and ankle orthopedic surgeons and specialists who are regarded as leaders in their specialty. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to learn more today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. Who in sports is most deserving of a presidential pardon? C-Cat, do you know, like, if off the top of your head, name one dude who is like a only child?
One dude that's an only child.
Do you know any only childs that are dudes? I was having a conversation with the wife literally this morning, and she was like, dudes are never only child. They're never only children. She thinks that the only children are women. She thinks that girls are more likely to be only children. And when she said that, I couldn't think of an only child off the top of my head.
But that doesn't.
I know.
That doesn't make sense because I think that if you were to poll all of Americans today at the same time, when they're doing the election, there's something on the other side of the ballot or like, on the corner, something said, if you were to have one child right now, would you rather have a boy or a girl? I think the reputation for children is that boys are a little bit easier than girls.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense because if you get your boy first, you got your boy. You don't have to try and have more kids in order to have the girl that you wanted. No, you wanted the boy. You had the boy. So that doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense to me either. The reason why I thought about that was because when I was mentioning my boy, my buddy that I had to, get out and bring, well, he wanted me to bring him somewhere where I shouldn't have brought him, and I didn't. I was like, oh, he was an only child. I should have brought up his name. But I wasn't thinking about him because I took him out of my purview. But dudes are just not only children like that. Or maybe the problem is guys don't share information as willingly and openly. Like, you can tell when a woman is a only child because, number one, she'll probably make it part of her personality and say it within the first 10 conversations. But then also, number two, they kind of probably pick up that only child syndrome a little bit more. Whereas dudes, it's like, no matter if you're an only child or a child, of 10, you're going to get hit with reality real quick. And the world is going to treat you as if you are one of a million anyways.
I see that. A little entitled, spoiled brat.
Yeah, them only children women. Come on.
Yeah,
it's tough.
When I went to vote today, not to brag, there was...
Big dog. Did you get a little sticker?
I did get a sticker.
Is it on? I forgot my sticker. I voted Saturday.
I didn't go for the classic one. I went the one that has like the presidential seal.
So you think you're the president for real?
Presidential election 2024. Yeah. I voted. Yo vote.
Yo vote.
There was a thing that said spoiled ballot. I thought it said spoiled brat, and it had a nice chuckle about that, where it said, you know what? This lady's a spoiled brat. Her vote shouldn't count.
Oh.
It said spoiled ballot. So if someone accidentally crosses something out or picks two different people, yeah.
Then it becomes a spoiled ballot.
So I learned something today.
Well, that's pretty good. That's like a little nugget of wisdom. Hopefully your ballot doesn't spoil out there today as you're voting and doing your constitutional right. 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. Apparently Tina's an only child. Makes sense.
Tell.
Makes sense.
That was her whole persona the last 2 years on air, is how she thinks the world revolves around her.
Yeah. I mean, these only children, they have to be stopped. They must be stopped. We'll address her about that when she pulls up for the happy hour. 888-760-3776. Hit us up on Theoretically Speaking. We got our guy, Segway Sean is in Palm Beach Gardens. I ain't heard from Segway Sean in a minute, man. First off, how you been, big dog?
I've been good, man. I've been good. I actually I might not have indicated it was Segway Sean when I called last time, but we were dogging on his accent from New York.
Oh, there we go. Well, that sure was you. My bad. Okay, bet, man. You're back at it.
No, that's all right.
You're back at it. What you got cooking up today, man?
It's been a while. It's been a while. I haven't really talked to you guys since you guys started doing the show with that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
good to talk to you.
Are you an only child, Segway Sean?
No, but I'm married to one, and good God.
It's like you know immediately, like, right? Like, how soon into you meeting your wife did you realize she was an only child?
I'll tell you when I always knew it. I kind of grew up with her a little bit, but it didn't really rear its ugly head, and it didn't start to come into daily life until my buddy married an only child woman as well. And now, so we're going out and having a beer or two every once in a while. So every time you're complaining about your significant other, your friend, you're both coming from the same place, and it's like, well, you know why? I think this is why, and
It came. The dots started connecting right there. I got you. Now, don't say nothing that'll get you in trouble. How about this? This will free the air here. Who would you free? Who would you set free in sports right now? Who would you give a presidential pardon to if Segway Sean was elected president of sports?
Well, I got to give you your congratulations last night, Theo, with the Chiefs. I'm a Bucs fan.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
It's due. Now, don't take that too far. You guys got some work to do to get into last year's shape, but I congratulate you on last night's win. You pulled it off.
I appreciate it. That's some good sportsmanship.
Or we shot ourselves in the foot. Either way you want to look at it, but either way, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I slept on it, and I was pissed off all night long. You got to imagine, but not that we were going to do anything with the win this year, but it still would have been fun to say, you beat them at Arrowhead and yada yada yada. But I'm giving Todd Bowles the pardon simply because I know he's getting a lot of criticism today. I know he is, and he's getting his share. And yes, it's easy to say in hindsight, like everybody else is. Everybody who's criticizing them today wasn't on the field last night or on the sideline last night. But it's easy to say 2-point conversion, do it, get done with it, get your win, get out of there. Baker Mayfield was on a run. They were playing hot. And I went down and scored a touchdown with 2 minutes to go. You're thinking, go ahead and do it. Just get it done and get out of there. But, you'll still get criticized if you do it. And he slips, somebody slips, it's a bad pass, whatever the case might be.
Yeah.
Somebody's always going to say you could have got, there's always going to be the other side that says, hey, you're at Arrowhead, you're playing the Chiefs, you're playing, the best team, at least in the AFC, in my opinion. Get your points where and when you can get them. And if they're free, considering the fact that the kick is the closest thing you can get to free in football, the extra point, get it while you can, tie the game. If you don't get the two, you're going to be looked at like a dog that way as well. So it's the lesser of two evils. I understand if you could possibly squeak out a win of it. But at the same time, the defense has been playing better than any game that they've played. They've held the Chiefs to lower points to that point that they've had all season. So, Todd Bowles saying, let's kick the extra points, pretty much a slap in the face of the defense saying you worked hard all game. Our offense has been playing great without our two best stars. You got to argue that. So I get his side, being proud of his guys and letting them do it on the field. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
And it's a split-second decision, and whether or not he talked it over with his captains. I know he didn't talk it over with any ownership.
He couldn't have, Sean. But you know what? What you're doing right now is trying to find your way to the decision that he inevitably made, which is a part of sports venting. So I appreciate that. It makes sense from you, and I appreciate the call, Sean. We'll have to get back to you because we got Mike T waiting to get on the other side of things. I think Todd Bowles made the right call last night, though.
If you look at the Buccaneers' schedule so far this season, you see an overtime loss to the Falcons where Baker Mayfield played great. It was a thriller. I believe that was the Thursday night football game where in overtime the Falcons ended up getting the win. You see a loss to the Ravens, which, all right, Ravens might be the second best team in football playing right now. And you have last night's loss to the defending champion Kansas City Chiefs. You flip a lot of those scores, and the Buccaneers season, even with those injuries, is looking pretty darn good. I didn't appreciate the tone there from Buccaneers fan Segway Sean. He should feel more optimistic than he is.
Well, the problem is you can feel optimistic, but there's a reason why you're losing these one-possession games to the better teams, and it's because you don't have the talent, you don't have the ability, and you might not have the correct coaching there in place to make it happen. Liam Cohen, by the way, the OC was looking nasty out there. What he was calling and the way they were moving the ball on a Chiefs defense that is elite. But I'll say this, just one thing before we get to Mike T on the other side so we can help break down the trade deadlines here. If you go for 2 and you make it, and you go up by 1 on the Chiefs, everybody's acting like that would have been a 50-50 call. You miss it, you lose. You make it, you win. If you make it, you give Patrick Mahomes 27 seconds and 3 timeouts at home to get Harrison Butker, one of the best kickers in the league, in the field goal range to knock it in. Stop acting like these things are a sure thing. It's almost similar to the Ravens thing where everybody's like, they're a toenail away from beating the Chiefs. No, they weren't. They were a toenail away from tying it or having a 50-50 chance at getting a 2-point conversion. Or like the Bills in the playoffs. Oh, my gosh, the Tyler Bass field goal miss away. The field goal would have tied the damn thing. People are so used to losing to the Chiefs. They're so, resigned to failing against Kansas City that even a near tie, a near miss, people equate, if they don't go for that or nail that, as a win. It simply isn't. As the Bills learned in the postseason a few years ago, even 13 seconds is too long. It'll be a little longer than 13 seconds, but we're going to get Mike Tannenbaum on the lines here on Theoretically Speaking on an NFL trade deadline day, an election day, a college football playoff ranking day. It is a day packed with action, and we're going to be here to ride with you through 4 to take care of it. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey with Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
At Unlimited Auto Wash, it's always a great day to get a wash. Hi, this is Kevin Dalton, the owner of Unlimited Auto Wash Club. Your car is dirty and you want it washed, but it might rain. No worries, we have a 72-hour rain check offer. For any reason, bring your car back for a free outside hand wash within 72 hours. Or join our Unlimited Club and receive unlimited hand washes inside and out with Tire Shine starting at $44.95 per month. Unlimited Auto Wash with 6 locations. Visit unlimitautowashclub.com or call 561-WASH-ME-TOO.
Time now for a PNC pause. PNC Bank is committed to making a difference in the lives of the customers they serve in the South Florida community. See how at PNC.com. You're listening to ESPN 106.3.
Join us for the Coors Light College Football Game of the Week as we feature Texas taking on the University of Florida. The ESPN West Palm Street team will be at Bonefish Max in Port St. Lucie Saturday, November 9th from noon until 2. Enjoy $4.75 drafts and buckets of ice-cold Coors Light for $18.75. Show us your tailgate toss skills for a chance to win prizes, courtesy of Palm Beach Autographs. Must be 21 or older to participate. Molson Coors reminds you to please drink responsibly.
Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Prize Picks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy, so your lineups stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. If your player leaves in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks keeps your lineup live. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones aren't? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on Prize Picks. Download the app today and use code THEOD to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup.
College basketball is coming to Sunrise. Catch a thrilling doubleheader at the 2024 AutoNation Orange Bowl Basketball Classic. Be there at Amerant Bank Arena on Saturday, December 14th as the UCF Knights take on the Tulsa Golden Hurricane and the Florida State Seminoles battle the Tulane Green Wave. Tip-off is at 2 p.m. Bring the whole family for a pregame party on the plaza. 1 ticket, 2 college basketball matchups. Tickets start at just $20. Get yours now at orangebowl.org.
ESPN 106.3 is presented by Rubenstein Law. 1-800-FL-LEGAL. Car accident, truck accident, Uber or Lyft accident, or a slip and fall. Call Rubenstein Law. Call 1-800-FL-LEGAL and visit one of our offices throughout Florida.
Hi, it's Luis Fonsi. In the world of music, versatility allows you to capture the moment and create something amazing. Ford SUVs are designed with the same versatility in mind. The Ford Escape or Explorer can make any day a beach day with room for family and all your gear. And the Ford Bronco or Bronco Sport give you the freedom to go over, around, or through almost anything that comes your way. Ford SUVs, perfect for South Florida. See your local Ford dealer today.
Mega Thrills at Rapids Water Park. Mega Fun. And new Mega Mayhem, now open. The first dueling water coaster in Florida. Buy single-day tickets in advance online and save. Only South Florida's Mega Thrill capital, Rapids Water Park.
Hey, it's Josh Cohen. When you need auto repair, honesty and reliability are everything. Trust the home for honest, reliable service since 1970. St. Lucie Battery and Tire. St. Lucie Battery and Tire has all the tire and battery brands in stock for cars, trucks, RVs, marine, power sports, golf carts, everything. Major and minor service repairs, free tire pressure, battery checks. St. Lucie Battery and Tire, over 50 years in our community. And now with 18 full-service locations, West Palm to the Treasure Coast. Go to slbt.com. That's slbt.com.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Some breaking NFL trade deadline news here as we close in on 4 o'clock, which is, well, that's the end of the trading. Per Adam Schefter, the Steelers are now adding Preston Smith from the Green Bay Packers in a trade. We don't know what the details on that trade is. Preston Smith, an edge rusher for the Packers, who are also a contender. That's what makes that a little weird, to go along with Mike Williams, who the Steelers picked up from the Jets, who also fancy themselves as a contender as well. So the Steelers going bargain shopping from teams that also anticipate being in the playoffs. I'm curious about how those kind of deals are usually structured. Who generally wins those? And CCAT, somebody that knows exactly what those conversations are like or what the heck the Steelers might be up to, is our guy, Mike Tannenbaum, who joins us right now. And I'm sure you've had your, you had your Twitter fingers working all day. It's trade deadline day. First, before we get into these deals, what is your favorite trade deadline story you had as a former general manager of the Jets and former VP of those Dolphins?
I think Antonio Holmes, as it got close to the deadline, just from a standpoint of he was a player that Rex Ryan, our head coach, couldn't defend, and he was shocked that he was actually available, and that was a one-call deal. They offered, and we said yes.
Oh, that's great. So they came to you with Antonio Holmes.
Yeah, for whatever reason, they thought they had to move on from him, so it didn't take us long.
I think that
wow. So I
think that worked out for
yeah. So in my experience as a fantasy football GM, never accept the first offer. I'm surprised that's a real thing. I thought, you know what, we'll take Antonio Holmes and maybe a pick better than what you gave us, or what was that? So really, there was no counter offer. You didn't want to get a little bit more?
We didn't want them to call any other team.
I see.
Vet move right there.
Yeah.
And that's real though, Mike T, because that will happen in fantasy as well, where if somebody offers you, if you see somebody's low on a player and they offer him to you and you see that trade offer pop up and you're like, actually, I'd take that. He might have shopped it around to like 4 or 5 people. You'll hit accept pretty quick. So he's not wrong right there, Mike T. Me.
Yeah. And go ahead.
What were you going to say? I was going to say me professing my fantasy football GM skills and you the real thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, maybe we could have gone for a little bit lower, but we didn't want to lose them. So we just wanted to make sure we could get it done.
It's one of those go get your guys type of things, which is maybe that's what the Steelers are doing right now. How do you read the latest 2 additions that the Steelers were able to make, getting Mike Williams, wide receiver from the Jets? I get why he was available, but for the Packers, who also fancy themselves as a contender in the NFC in a very tough division, like with the Steelers getting 2 guys off of contenders, are you going to get in damaged goods right there because they're trying to win?
Yeah, little surprised on the Preston Smith thing. I'm not sure why they would do that. I certainly think, the Mike Williams thing wasn't a good fit. Devontae Adams is there. Lazard will come back. They got Garrett Wilson. I get that. But I didn't understand, Green Bay still has it all in front of them. They'll get healthier, obviously, with Jordan Love. So that one was a surprise to me as well, guys.
Mike, you obviously have seen all of these trades come through. You've been assessing them yourself. As a former GM, which one do you see the most value in? Which team added the most value without giving too much away as these contenders try to strengthen up for the playoff push?
Yeah, assuming that Marshawn Lattimore is healthy, I think he was by far the most valuable, the most consequential. He's a bona fide number one. They gave up a bunch of picks, a 3, a 4, and a 6. They got back a 5. He has 2 more years to go on his deal. But he checks a box for them. You can never have enough corners. And I think of all the teams, look, they've already exceeded expectations, guys, but boy, that makes a good team really more interesting.
It's funny the transition that the Washington Commanders had and how swiftly it happened. Partially, to me, it makes me feel like, okay, there's going to be other NFL franchises that feel like they can replicate that. You're right, like new head coach, new quarterback. We saw it with the Texans 2 years ago, or I guess last year. We're seeing it with the Commanders right now. Is there any other team that you think is looking around and seeing that and thinking, hey, we're one offseason away from fixing that position and the guy under the main headset, and we can be a team that's buying at the trade deadline instead of being a seller like the Panthers?
I think most owners think that way. I think they come in, they're successful people, and they're always thinking like, hey, we're one quarterback away, And look, Jaden Daniels, he just blows the whole rookie paradigm away because he's smart, he's poised, he doesn't turn it over. Like we had Sanchez as a rookie, Mark Sanchez. He was a good player, but he was frenetic. He turned it over, which is more typical. And I think a lot of owners are sitting there and saying, like, whoever it is, guys, right? Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, if we had him with our team, how much of an impact? And look, Dan Quinn he's an A coach, and they were lucky to get him.
You when you see also you got these teams like the Panthers who are able to look themselves in the mirror and say, yes, we should be sellers right now. The Browns, smart enough to know they're not making the playoffs. They should lean in on selling and getting some future draft picks. Is there any team that hasn't made a move, hasn't moved off of pivotal pieces that you feel like, why the heck are they staying pat like right now?
Well, it's interesting. Like take the NFC West, for example, guys. Like, 10 days ago I suggested, hey, do they trade, Cooper Kupp for a pair of threes to
right.
Houston, for example. But now, they went on the road in Seattle, and now, you're sitting there saying, hey, we got Matthew Stafford, we got Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, and we got a bunch of young guys on defense, 2, first and second round pick, that young defensive lineman. We got a puncher's chance. So that's, the trade deadline's early, guys. So I think that's part of it in the NFL is like, it's hard to walk away when you still think you have a meaningful chance.
I guess you never know when you're just a Jonathan Mingo away from contending for a Super Bowl like the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, what do you make of that situation? Because that's specifically the place where people were torn on it. And then Jerry Jones says this morning, we're going to be buyers, we're going to be aggressive. And then they bring in a second-year receiver that has 0 to no production in the league so far.
Yeah, I think that's one of those where they're saying, it's a 4th-round pick, but we really thought this guy was a second-round pick, and, it's just too good of an opportunity to pass up. I was surprised. Like, he was the 39th pick a year ago, guys, so right. I was a little surprised that Carolina just moved on from him.
Right. That's another team where I'm clueless. I'm clueless what the Panthers are actually trying to accomplish there.
Yeah, it is weird. I got a question that you would definitely be the source of information for. This is not fantasy football. It's not even Major League Baseball where the addition of a bat in the lineup is going to make your team better. It's a football team, the ultimate team sport. Which position out there is the most easiest to plug and play in the middle of a season? Because we can talk about these fantasy quarterback into an offense and make an instant impact right now, but that's not one of those positions. What position is plug and play in the NFL?
It's a great question. Part of it is contextual around, like, for example, corner. They play a lot of man-to-man. Like, that's as simple as it sounds. Go cover this guy. Obviously, as you get into more of the nuances of zones and, like, spacing, that gets a little bit more complicated. Or if you bring in a guy to be a DPR, designated pass rusher, and, it's Von Miller going to the Bills a couple of years ago, and we just need you to rush the passer 20 plays a game. So, context is, important here, but those are two positions where you could jump in and help.
Mike T, we're giving out presidential pardons to sports players, coaches, or fans that are in a bad situation right now. We were elected into this position, and we're going to elect you now into that position to look across the NFL, pick a player or coach, or maybe just a fan, maybe a fan that you're trying to free from their worries or their sorrows that you would give your presidential pardon from and put them in a better situation.
How about J.J. McCarthy? He's the first quarterback in the history of the NFL as a first-round pick to suffer a season-ending preseason injury. And here's a guy that was, national champion, first-round pick, great defense. Minnesota trades up for him, and he never got to play it down.
Man. And do you think, like, now that we're getting closer and closer, like, how likely is it the Vikings actually re-up with Darnold at the end of the year versus them just saying no matter what you do, no matter how high you bring this program, we can make it the NFC Championship game. Heck, we can win a Super Bowl. We're committed to bringing J.J. McCarthy out there because it feels like the latter is more where people around the situation are leaning.
Earlier we talked about how this is a week-to-week sport with the Rams. I'll tell you, a couple of weeks ago you say Sam Darnold's never leaving the building, and despite winning the other day against Indy, boy, he really looked erratic. So I think that's a decision that hasn't been made yet.
Yeah. And I hope, he's hoping he can get that big deal this offseason. I'm hoping performances like that down the stretch aren't what keep chopping those millions off the top of what he's going to go out there and look to secure. Are there any places you have your eyes on now? I know we're about an hour 15 out from the trade deadline here in the NFL. Any places that you think that a team needs to be adding at? I know the Chiefs looking for cornerback help. They lost out on Marshawn Lattimore. I've seen some other kind of like rumblings. Who do you think is most likely to actually get a deal done before the deadline here?
Let's go back to that Houston situation. I think they need a receiver, guys. Stephon Diggs is out for the year. Nico Collins has been banged up. They've struggled. They could use a guard, too, to be candid, but I'd love to see them get a little bit more firepower for C.J. Stroud.
Mike T., we appreciate your time here. We hope that, the Texans can find some help because Stroud looked absolutely miserable in that primetime game that they failed to. We'll tap in with you next week with I guess, more of a conclusion on where we stand in the NFL. So that'll be fun. Have a good week.
All right. Thanks so much, guys.
That was Mike Tannenbaum. His appearances are always brought to you by Eisner Amper, and his messaging is strong right here for the Packers, for the Cowboys. They're like, we go get our guy, and when he was a general manager, if somebody sent him that trade over, whether it be cold or not, whether he knew it was incoming or not, you just take that deal if you're comfortable with it. You don't try to squeeze out more. You're trying to bite the hand that feeds you, C-Cat. You wouldn't have lasted a year.
Yeah, I know, man. I seriously, I want to squeeze out as much valuable as possible, and then it gets swept out from under you by a different team. I guess with the Mingo trade, I assume the Cowboys wanted to draft him, and it's hard to forget the feelings you had for a player. In love with a prospect in the second round, he never had the chance to actually get him, and now he's on the trading block, and you get him for less than you would have 2 years ago.
Yeah,
then I guess you take him. Whatever.
So my only concern would be, and I guess this makes kind of sense, right? Like, because if you're the Panthers, if you really feel out on the guy, you're like, we'll take whatever you want to give for him, sure. We just want to get our hands off of him. We don't want him in our building anymore. But if I'm the Cowboys, and it's not like they have a fortified culture. They're not the Steelers. They're not the Chiefs. Like, they're not a team that you would think, they're not the Rams, right? Like, anybody goes there, they'll figure it out. They'll sort it out. They have a great top-to-down messaging. Their coach has a good control.
They're not the Heat.
They're not the Miami Heat. Real talk. Are you like cheesy because I'm just saying some of my favorite teams? Oh, okay, I thought that was like a joke.
No, I'm saying like an organization that's known for the culture and it makes names.
Yeah.
The names don't go to the organization necessarily.
Yeah.
But they become names because they're at the organization. They become their best self.
Shout out Pele Larson. Another Heat culture guy that's popping up. Drew Smith. Some of these undrafted types, bottom of the second round types that they make names out of. And you're right. Also, there's the reclamation projects of people that maybe got passed around the league a little bit. They go to one of these organizations. They look better. Mingo going to the Dallas Cowboys, if he succeeds, I think it'll just be because he has better quarterback play and better play calling, not that their culture is any better. And that's the question. Like, do the Panthers feel like he's a problem child, or do they feel like he was a bad receiver?
Cooper Rush going to be slinging the rock.
Oh, gosh.
He won a couple of games back in, it was 2020 when Dak Prescott got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like playing the Cowboys into contention, I believe.
I think they had a good shot. They started off pretty solid that year because Dak got hurt in the first game.
That's right.
That year because he was in the contract year.
Mm-hmm.
Gruesome knee injury, first game.
How about Trey Lance? I think maybe it was brought up on Russo and Rizzo yesterday. He's there. How is Trey Lance, what is he doing behind the scenes that is not making him the clear-cut second-string quarterback?
Maybe he's just not a good quarterback.
But how do you fall from grace that hard, that fast?
Because we didn't have a large sample size of Trey Lance, too. I think that's part of the problem is, like, people fall in love with your potential and what you can be and what they think they can make you into. And sometimes you just never live up to the potential. I think it was all there for Trey Lance, but he played how many games at North Dakota State? It's the same issue with Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, I guess so, but also how many games he played for the 49ers? Like, I know we're seeing that you can put a wet rag at the 49ers at quarterback and they'll be contending. So the fact that he was not reaching their potential with him at quarterback, all right, that says something. But you got to at least give the kid a shot. I want to see what Trey Lance can do with Dallas.
Me too. I think it'll be fun. No matter if it's good or bad, it'll be a good time, right? Like, that's the story of the Dallas Cowboys. You're right. That'll be a lot more fun than watching Cooper Rush. It's trivia time, baby.
It is trivia time. I'm going to tease what we've got for trivia because we got an NFL question coming up after the break.
Wow.
That you're not going to miss.
First time ever we're getting a tease of the trivia question. We get a little music. We get a little tease. That's C-Cat making you wait for it. You're a bad guy. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
This is the Delray Beach Open. Don't miss today's top professional tennis stars and legends in downtown Delray 7th through 16th. It's 10 days of tennis on the Ave. 140 miles per hour races, parties, music, art, and all the good vibe. For the nonstop action on and off the court, snap pics and post memories at the DBO. Join us for a jam-packed week of ATP tennis matches. More fun, more food, more drink, more parties, more of everything. DelrayBeachOpen.com for info.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
ESPN 106.3 is presented by Rubenstein Law. 1-800-FL-LEGAL. Car accident, truck accident, Uber or Lyft accident, or slip and fall. Call Rubenstein Law. Call 1-800-FL-LEGAL and visit one of our offices throughout Florida.
Time now for the Land Rover Palm Beach Player of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. Every Player of the Week is eligible to win a scholarship at the end of the year. This year, a $25,000 scholarship will be awarded to an athlete, with $10,000 going to the winner's high school athletic department. Land Rover Palm Beach, above and beyond. Here's Cade Chumsley.
Our Land Rover Palm Beach Player of the Week is Dwyer High School golfer Chandler Cantwell. In this week's district championship, Chandler had to par his last 2 holes to send the Panthers to the regional final, and he did just that. Here he is on helping to lead his young, star-studded team.
A change, being one of the younger guys, now being one of the seniors on the team, and it's a lot of fun being able to mentor them, take them under my wing, and we got some great talent on our team this year, and that's what's helped us, get all the way to regionals and hopefully, take that next step towards states.
Congratulations, Chandler, on being selected this week's Land Rover Palm Beach Player of the Week.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack, and football season is here. Are you ready to make some money? Have you bet on sports before? That probably did not go great. I can help you make money. Go to fatjacksports.com and get dialed in to turn a profit. The picks are emailed to you. They're on your personal portal on the website, and you can pay less than $50 a week for longer packages to make money betting this football season. Fatjacksports.com, the only place you need to go. 100% transparent, and will turn you profit this season at fatjacksports.com.
It's a Twin Peaks Tuesday. Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge for eats, drinks, and scenic views. This is ESPN 106.3.
If you are buying a new home in Palm Beach County, whether it's your first time or you're upgrading or downsizing, the clerk's office is the services you need to help protect your investment. Sign up for our Property Fraud Alert program, offering free monitoring of Palm Beach County's official records. You will get an alert if a document, such as a deed or mortgage, is recorded using your name or address. For more information, head to our website at mypalmbeachclerk.com/homeowners. Congratulations on your new home. We are always here to help.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
You know, I just left the campus of Kaiser University to go check out that football team, the reigning NAIA champions, kicking it with Miles Russ. I realized something, man. They're not only are they 7-0, not only are they undefeated, this is a team that is number one in the nation. They got Florida Memorial this weekend at 6 o'clock at home. Kickoff on Saturday against Florida Memorial, a team that can put up points in a heap. That's going to be an electric show. And you know what else I realized, C-Cat? If you are sitting in the Kaiser University stands to watch them play football, you can watch the game, but you're also looking right directly at a driving range, the putting green, little area for you to do some chipping as well. That's where the Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center is.
Really?
Right across from the football field. It's right there. It's adjacent to it. The putting green literally is edged up right next to where you would enter the gate at. So if you're going to check out the Seahawks this weekend, KUSeahawks.com to get tickets and whatnot, and check out the rest of the schedule, you can also see what the KU Golf Coaching Center looks like. A 2,000 square foot indoor facility. Now that's going to be in the gymnasium. So you'd have to go by the gymnasium. And when you go in there, you're going to see all the national championship banners as well. So everything I'm saying to you right now, it's facts, it's real, it's tangible, and you can go check it out yourself on the flagship campus of Kaiser University. And I will say this too. Tune up that golf game. You see the weather right now. I know you got a little free time on you. It's season. Tune up your golf game. Kaiser Golf Coaching Center. Kaiser Golf Coaching Center, KaiserGolf.com. That's where you're going to be able to tap in there. C-Cat, we do have trivia.
We got trivia. And we're laughing because we're both trying to hit the trivia music at the same time. So it was canceling each other out each and every time. A little behind
Turn on and off and on.
Trying to correct our mistakes.
I apologize for that, man. That's like when you're like reaching in the popcorn bucket at the movies, and you both go and you both pull back. Then one half goes, the other,
Yeah.
That happens to you too, right?
It certainly does. So I'm looking right now.
Yeah, sarcastic.
At the 1 seeds in the current playoff format, where if the season ended today, the 1 seed would have go to, of course, in the AFC, the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
Easy. It would also go to the NFC's Detroit Lions. And I think that they've probably been the two best teams in the NFL this year. Chiefs are doing a little bit uglier, but you got to knock off the king, and the Chiefs get the benefit of the doubt no matter what. The last time we've actually had a Super Bowl where the 1 seeds went up against each other in that game in February.
Wow.
It happened with the Eagles and the Chiefs back in the 2022-2023
Damn, you're right.
NFL season.
I thought you were going to ask me what it was. I was going to have no clue.
I'm going to ask you the time before that, because I thought you would know that.
The time before? No, I forgot all about that. But you're right. Yeah, that was the year where Mahomes and Hurts were both MVP candidates and 1 seed.
So which was the second to most recent 1 seed versus 1 seed Super Bowl? Because the most recent was the 2023 Super Bowl, where it was Eagles versus Chiefs.
I wonder if given enough time to think back, I would have gotten to that place. But as you were gearing up the question, I definitely did not remember that they were both 1 seeds that year. Okay, so to answer it, it's going to be which squads were both 1 seeds and made the Super Bowl. I would have to. The easiest assumption is going to be Tom Brady was involved in the Super Bowl. That's the easiest assumption. Like, if Brady wasn't involved in this thing, I would be utterly shocked. So now I'm trying to think of Brady's old Super Bowls. I need some time. Can I answer this on the other side?
Let's do it.
I'll answer it on the other side because I need some time to like write out the past Super Bowls and then go through my Rolodex of answers there. Before we do go to the happy hour where we bring in Tina, Espresso Martina, the only child, who definitely has the only children syndrome there, even though she's good people. She's good people. Definitely an only child. I'll tell you a place that has, sometimes you pull up to a sports bar or restaurant, it's got like 1 TV. And you're like, well, what the heck are we doing with that? No, Duffy Sports Grill, they were fruitful and they multiplied 80 or more televisions in every single Duffy Sports Grill. And if you don't believe me, just go to the one nearest you, Duffy'sMVP.com. This is where you're going to want to be, whether it's a Tuesday, a Thursday, a Friday, a Saturday, a Sunday, any day of the week when you want to tap in on several different games. I mean, right now we got hockey and basketball too. Don't think that Tuesday's an off day. You can also go there if you want to watch a little bit of coverage of what's going on with the nation and college football playoff first rankings tonight.
That's true. That's
Double
pretty
screening.
big.
That's going to be – I wonder if there are going to be some watch parties in public. That sounds a little mixy, but we'll see how that goes. But I will say Duffy Sports Grill, they've got some great 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. So whether your team is losing or winning tonight, you can enjoy some drinks, as well as the menus are prolific. They got your new gridiron starters and everything. Like, you're going to want to go out there and check out the award-winning burgers and jumbo wings. Duffy'sMVP.com. At Duffy's, our game is always on. The question one more time is, which time was the last time? And I forgot the question. CK, you tell them. Oh, last number one seeds in the Super Bowl.
Yes, the last number one seed matchup between the AFC and the NFC in the Super Bowl was Chiefs versus Eagles. I overestimated how intelligent Theo was.
Yes.
So I went above and beyond and said, what was the time before that? Think about the number one seeds that matched up in the Super Bowl before 2022-2023 season.
It's going to be tough. My memory is short. Like Tina, who's coming on the happy hour on the other side. That's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Join us for the Coors Light College Football Game of the Week as we feature Texas taking on the University of Florida. The ESPN West Palm Street team will be at Bonefish Max in Port St. Lucie Saturday, November 9th from noon until 2. Enjoy $4.75 drafts and buckets of ice-cold Coors Light for $18.75. Show us your tailgate toss skills for a chance to win prizes, courtesy of Palm Beach Autographs. Must be 21 or older to participate. Molson Coors reminds you to please drink responsibly.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Hey, my name is Colin Russo, and this is your Miami Dolphins Minute. Well, the Dolphins came out and played tough, but suffered yet another loss to the Buffalo Bills on the road on Sunday by a score of 30-27. Despite the Dolphins dropping to 2-6 and 0-2 since quarterback Tua Tagovailoa came back from concussion, the offense was clicking, especially in the second half. The Finns had two game-tying 70-plus yard drives in the fourth quarter, but it was Josh Allen and the Bills' offense that was just too much for Miami as they drove down the field to set up a 61-yard field goal for kicker Tyler Bass to win the game with 10 seconds remaining. The Dolphins dropped to 2-6 and are well out of the AFC East race. They have a long week and go on the road to take on the LA Rams next Monday night. You can catch that right here on 106.3. That was your Miami Dolphins Minute, presented by Hard Rock Bet. It's Florida's official sports book. For the first time ever in Florida, bet on the Dolphins all season long. Try Hard Rock Bet now and receive up to $100 back in bonus bets if that first bet does not win. It's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
As market dynamics change, the quality of service you receive from your accounting firm shouldn't. Partner-owned since 1923, Anshin Accountants and Advisors take time to get to know you and your unique circumstances to help resolve complex issues and develop innovative tax and accounting solutions. If you're a business owner or high net worth individual eager for a strategy to maximize tax savings, let Anshin recalculate what's possible. Visit ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, delivering value where others can't.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
It's almost time for the 2024 Palm Beach County Heart Walk. Get your heart pumping November 9th at the Meyer Amphitheater and help our community raise awareness for heart health. Whether it's becoming a sponsor or bringing friends and family together for a Heart Walk team, any support makes a difference. This year, attendees can learn hands-only CPR at the walk and can even take interactive training when they sign up. Learn this life-saving skill to turn a nation of bystanders into a nation of lifesavers. Visit palmbeachheartwalk.org today.
The quality of our choices affects the quality of our lives. So, when it comes to how you move, do you choose to see a doctor or go to the #1 orthopedic specialist in the world, backed by a team who custom tailor your treatment? Do you choose to live with limitations or live life to the fullest by going to the place that's #1 at getting people back to what they love? Choose better, move better. Locations in West Palm Beach and Wellington. Learn more at hss.edu/Florida.
Never go near power lines. Whether you are trimming trees or picking fruit, stay at least 10 feet away from power lines. You can be seriously injured or killed if you or any object you're holding or standing on, such as tools and ladders, touches a power line. Hire a qualified line clearing professional to trim trees near power lines. Stay safe by keeping yourself and your tools at least 10 feet away from any power lines. Learn more at FPL.com.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good peep. Yes, me, Theo Dorsey, back at you. Theoretically speaking, on Election Tuesday, on College Football Playoff Ranking Tuesday, on the NFL Trade Deadline Tuesday, as we enter the happy hour here. C-Cat's still right with you on the other side of the glass on the ones and twos. He has his I voted sticker on and like an American flag t-shirt. You're very patriotic today on a day where everybody is casting their ballots.
Audience, listeners, viewers, when you think C-Cat, I want you to think intelligence, and I want you to think America. Those are the two words I want to be described as.
Wow.
Well, here's the thing. You can't just tell people to think of you as intelligent. You have to prove that to them. Now, we feel that you're American. You can do that with a t-shirt, but your intelligence is something you have to it's got to be we got to perceive it.
Intelligence, funny, America. Those are the three words. How about
intelligent, funny, America.
Yeah.
Those are your three. Like if somebody was like, 3 words to describe C-Cat, you would wish that people say that.
Yeah, not American, America.
America. You are the
I am America. Yeah, I am a melting pot of a person.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, joining us also on the happy hour, Tina, Espresso Martina. How would you? What would be your 3 words? I don't want to assume for you. Would espresso margarita have anything in there, or is it
what?
Oh, espresso martina. Excuse me. Yeah, I said margarita. My bad.
That describe me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, is there any? Do you have 3 words?
I'm thinking.
I can think of 3 words
that can describe yourself that you would like people. If somebody was like, sum up Tina in 3 words.
I would hope we can have tequila be one of them.
Hates bald people.
No, that's not my 3 at all.
Wow.
I would say.
Fall off the wagon much, huh?
We can say. You said you're America, intelligent, and what was the other one?
Funny.
Those are 3
and
good
funny.
things.
Yeah.
You can't say you're funny.
Lives.
You can't
You're
call
actually
yourself
not
funny.
allowed to call yourself funny.
You can't call yourself
I'm
funny.
not calling myself funny. Other people are thinking of funny when they see me.
Like you look funny?
Could be both. So you want alcohol? Yeah, tequila?
I would
Drunk?
say no.
Mess?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
AA, that's Tina?
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hold on a second, let's get you a light. Keep talking.
I would say positive, for sure, one of them. And then I would say kind. I would say those would be my 3 words.
Ew, but I don't want to know any kind people.
Why?
That's boring as hell.
That's not boring
hey,
at
this
all.
is my friend Tina. You're gonna love her.
She
She's
is kind.
No.
If you're kind, I think that's such a great
Nice.
quality.
Yeah, like Mother Teresa was kind.
He just said he doesn't want to know anyone that's kind.
Yeah, I would never want to describe someone
Someone
close
is
to me.
kind?
Yeah, Tina's kind.
Honestly, that's a good quality.
You gotta met my buddy Theo. He's kind.
Well,
They
you're
didn't
talking
sell
about
me.
a guy. Yeah, like if you're introducing your homeboy and you say he's kind, and that's one of your first 3 words, then yeah, it makes him seem a little soft, a little weak.
So we're gender exclusive here now?
It
Only
does.
women can
Would
be
you-
kind?
That's the reason why you're reacting that way. Because it's not one of the first 3 words. Most dudes are not going to sign up for like when you're explaining me to people, tell them I'm kind.
What's up, Theo? I'm kind. a little bit about me. Born in Kansas City.
Okay, should I pick a new word?
No, kind is good.
Right? I
kind
think
is
so.
a positive
kind,
characteristic.
and we can add in just because espresso martina and all I always talk
Tequila.
about
margaritas
is tequila.
There you go.
A little bit about me. I'm nice.
You're not nice.
Yeah.
These are horrible descriptors.
Oh my God.
Theo, what are the 3 words to describe Theo Dorsey?
It's so hard. It's difficult. It's difficult to just come up with 3. I have so many.
Does kind crack the list?
Kind would be top 10. Jeez. Kind would be top 10. I would say
Great quality.
Altruistic.
What if someone didn't know what that word meant? Just throwing it out there.
What if there's just a person out there that just was curious of what that word
What
meant?
letter does that start with? Is it A or U?
Hey, altruistic. I wish well for everybody. I want better for not just myself but for all. I am seeking joy and positivity for those around me and myself.
And when
the
you're
common man.
When you're off the high horse, that
I can't pick
include,
one word to use that.
You didn't have to. You need
I am
to pick
altruistic.
3. All right,
altruistic is one.
All right.
Can I go hyphenated words?
Sure.
Faith driven.
All right.
Yeah, it's
It'd be weird if I knocked you for that one, so let's go to number 3.
He's not allowed to look.
Yeah,
He's like,
can't really poke fun at that.
HR is right there. All right, so faith driven, altruistic, and
could have said holy.
Holy's not a good. That's not a good thing to like call yourself, because then you feel like you're condescending, almost like holier than thou.
But you're not than thou. You're just holy.
All right, sure, holy. You know what? Blessed, and then I'll just go with something like I'm a winner. I'm a winner.
Jesus. Pardon. I'm
a winner. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
No, look. I don't know because you made me come up with it. You're the one that just volunteered 3 words to describe yourself, which nobody asked for.
Winner is one of them.
Winner is one of them. I mean, that just is part of my DNA. I can't help it. Can't help but win.
Fair enough.
Can't help but just I slip into victories at times.
By calling yourself to describe yourself as a straight winner, one of the 3 words to describe yourself, that is holier than thou.
No, it's not.
That's saying that there are losers out there. You might be one of them, but I'm not.
You're assuming a lot right there. You're filling in words and gaps that I didn't say or even hint towards.
So then who are the losers out there? If you're the winner, there's got to be losers in the game of life.
The Panthers.
Are they in this room right now?
The Jets. I would consider anybody a loser who would pick one of their 3 words to describe themselves as funny.
Damn. All right. I'll back off, pal. Say it. It's okay.
Look, we're giving out presidential pardons here. It is election day on Theoretically Speaking. We're not going to have the happy hour derailed by 3-word descriptors that nobody's going to use for you anyways. I gave a presidential pardon to my guy, Anthony Edwards. I broke the rules. I went NBA because I'm so frustrated with watching Timberwolves games and having to watch the graceful, the beautiful, elegant, just amazing play of Anthony Edwards. And I look over there and Rudy Gobert is just slopping it up. And I'm like, get this dude off the court. I want to see some winning basketball. I want to see some artful basketball. I want to see skillful players, not this big volleyball player who's good for 2 things, just swatting the ball and jumping high. I want to see some good ball. Free my guy, Anthony Edwards. C-Cat, who did you give a presidential pardon to?
I never provided mine, but I will provide it now.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb and the Browns. The Browns wrap their arms around this guy, this running back, Nick Chubb, who is a difference maker, and they love him, I believe, a lot more than he loves them. Right now, Nick Chubb, running back for the Browns, who's recovered after that nasty lower body injury that was on national television. Right now, Nick Chubb is looking at the second life of running backs who got out of bad situations, got into better situations, and they're putting up all-time numbers, talking about Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley. Nick Chubb, his contract does not go for much longer. I think Nick Chubb is on his first bus out of Cleveland, and he's going to make a difference somewhere else.
I like that move a lot. Nick Chubb could be that kind of guy in a good situation. The sad thing is the Browns are supposed to be that situation, but they messed up the quarterback position. And they overpaid a dude who, had faulty character and apparently a faulty shoulder and arm and everything else that goes along with being a quarterback. I like that. So Nick Chubb for him. I'm going with Anthony Edwards still. Tina, we're electing Espresso Martina as president of sports. She gets to give a presidential pardon to just one person. I know you get unlimited when you're in that seat, but damn it, here on Theoretically Speaking, you only get one. Tina, who would be your presidential pardon?
Y'all are going to think this is crazy.
Oh, I can't wait.
But I have a soft spot for this person. I would do Daniel Jones because
Okay.
Slow down.
He's got a girlfriend.
hold on.
I know the beard's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Relax. Calm down.
You're selecting Daniel Jones.
You're selecting Daniel
Jones.
Jones as your okay, because when you say it the other way, we're confused as what your angle is here.
My angle is I just think that if he wasn't with the Giants, he would be much better. He's only been with the Giants. And when I was thinking about this earlier today, Sam Darnold saw ghosts with the Jets. And now he's killing it with the Vikings. And I just think that you never know who you're surrounded with could be holding you back. And so I would do Daniel Jones.
That almost sounded like a last call right there. Who you're surrounded with could be holding you back. The Giants, apparently the issue, and not the quarterback, what they paid $40 million a year for. If you're going to pardon Daniel Jones, I would pardon him from the National Football League and maybe into finance.
I actually don't hate this from Tina at all. Because I think that he got overdrafted, so you're already behind the 8 ball. When you're drafted like a top 10 pick, but you're not one, you're viewed as someone that you just simply aren't.
Yes.
And if he was justly drafted maybe in the bottom third of the first round or to a team that is better than that, right? I mean, of course, if you get picked later in the first round, you're going to a better organization. If we were to do revisionist history and look at the bottom end of that draft, I'm sure somebody back there could use a fresh start at quarterback, if not the year he started, maybe a year after that. I think we would look at Daniel Jones in a completely different light if he didn't go into the wasteland that was the Giants.
That's true, but be that as it may, his leash has been longer because of his draft capital. So he wouldn't get this many starts to prove who he actually is. I feel like the sample size of Daniel Jones is great enough. Now, a lot of it's been with a shaky offensive line, with not enough weapons, but then also a lot of it has now been with Brian Daboll, who we at least consider outside looking in is a good offensive coach, a guy that was able to scheme stuff up with Josh Allen and flip his career around too. And then also he got enough out of Daniel Jones to make the playoffs and win a game in the postseason. So
Saquon Barkley there, not a lack of weapons.
He had Saquon Barkley and whatnot. So I feel like we've gotten, you're right, Tina, different situation, different draft capital. He could be better somewhere or at least serviceable as a
I don't need him to go start somewhere.
Yeah, like just a backup somewhere or something, like just somewhere where you can have a clean slate.
Mm-hmm.
He could end up being better off versus being trotted out there with the Giants, who really it felt like for the most part of this year, we're just feeding them to the wolves. Like, all right, get out there. Hopefully you don't get hurt. Hopefully nothing bad happens. Hopefully we can win a game or two. And then the owner jumps up there and says, yeah, Daboll and Shane are good. You notice who he didn't say is good? Quarterback.
Yeah. Do you think the Giants are going to not so subtly tank? Because I know they can't win this year. They're seeing 2 teams at the top of the division they cannot compete with whatsoever. But you see a top-heavy quarterback class where if you want one of the top dudes, which we saw what happens when the Giants don't get one of the top dudes, you reach for Daniel Jones. But if you want one of Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, you're going to have to be in maybe a top 2 pick. So that's going to require a lot of losing.
I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know the future, though I did call a lot of my shots here in the NFL. I called DeAndre Hopkins to the Chiefs, who, by the way, tweeted out a picture of Brady and Randy Moss. Oh, my gosh. DeAndre Hopkins to the Chiefs, man. We needed this as a sports world. We needed Patrick Mahomes to have a competent, elite, 50-50 ball-winning receiver that he can rely on. So when he throws up those prayers on 3rd and long, or when he throws up those beautiful passes, they don't go, just parading off of dudes' fingertips.
This better lead to something.
We all needed this.
This better lead to something. What was the point of that?
That was a tangent I went on right there, C-Cat. That's what they call a tangent in the biz.
But I don't understand how it connected. Are you saying that Malik Neighbors could be the next guy who's left to the waste?
Backpedal. So what the hell was I talking about before I got lost in my feelings and emotions there thinking about that Chiefs win last night and DeAndre Hopkins looking so good.
I was saying, are the Giants going to subtly tank for a top quarterback?
There we go. Thank you. So I am not... Sorry, you know how that gets.
I had to police you that time. That was bad.
I got in the moment.
I was lost too. I was like,
I got in the moment there,
man.
man. Yeah, I got in the moment. I just thought about that picture that DeAndre Hopkins tweeted, and then I said, man, Patrick Mahomes got his Randy Moss.
All right.
Might be running the table.
Come back with me. I'm
sorry. All right, C-Cat, thank you. That's why we have a team here, checks and balances. We're going to see a headline within the next 2 weeks that says Daniel Jones is being benched as the starting quarterback. Who is it behind him? I think Drew Lock still?
Drew Lock is there, and one other.
Tommy DeVito's still there. And or you know what I'm saying, like, or it's going to say like Tommy DeVito is taking more first team reps at practice this week, or Daniel Jones is being benched for poor performance, or maybe he has a hip or something. But like in the next 2 weeks, the Giants are going to announce the benching of Daniel Jones. The only problem with that is, C-Cat, I don't know if that's going to hurt their chances of winning more or help their chances of winning more.
DeVito went on like a 4-game winning streak last year, and that's the reason why the Giants didn't have one of those top 5 picks to take Jaden Daniels or Caleb Williams. So I don't know what the way is. You got to break NFL rules to do this.
But they don't want Daniel Jones to get hurt because then he has the injury protections on his contract to where they won't be able to cut him this offseason. It's like the Jimmy Garoppolo in Las Vegas thing a few years ago before they went out and got Derek Carr. They benched him early so he didn't get hurt. So they could, you know what I'm saying?
So we got to see an active final 41 minutes of this trade deadline and get rid of everybody in the Giants, right? If you got to keep the guy you're paying a bunch because no one wants to take on the Daniel Jones contract, definitely you don't want to add him to your building right now at this value.
Yeah.
You just got to keep Malik Neighbors. We've seen that he is an absolute difference maker. And if you want to build around an offense, he should be one of those pieces that you got him in that building. The Giants got to do some work here and make sure that they get one of those top 2 quarterbacks because Daniel Jones, he's not going to be the future.
He's not going to be the future, but maybe he has a future with Tina the way that she spoke of him when he was first brought up.
Very forward.
Things got very hot in here. And if it gets hot like that in here again, I might have to phone a friend, and you know exactly who I would go to, edsisyes.com. Like I don't phone them. I always go to the website because there's some places where you have to call because the website is either bad or you don't get like a quick enough response time when you submit a claim or anything. No, edsisyes.com. When you're scheduling an appointment, you can do that 24/7. There's 24/7 support right there for you. And you can even look over all your options, whether you want to flip your AC unit, whether you want to enlist in one of the plans they have. I'm a gold plan member, so I get 2 checkups every year, as well as 15% off of any repairs. EDSIsyes.com. They've been serving and keeping you cool in Palm Beach County since 2006. I don't even know if Tina was born in 06. That's how long they've been keeping people cool.
I was alive.
You was alive?
I was alive.
All right. Well, you saw it happen then. You saw history happen as EDSIsyes.com came into fruition. They've got a 4.8 star Google review rating with over 760 reviews. That's a lot. It's a lot of people all pointing in the right direction. They must know something, and what they know is that EDS is yes. EDSIsyes.com. EDSIsyes.com for all of your AC and plumbing needs. Yeah, Tina, we're going to have to keep you away from Daniel Jones. I don't know if the Dolphins are hosting the Giants at all this year, but you're not going to be able to get the credentials for that one.
Okay, that's
Hands
fine.
off. Hands off their quarterback.
I'm sorry. It's the facial hair.
It's the facial hair,
It's
right?
facial hair.
The beard got him some points this offseason, and when it comes to just the social landscape of things there.
Man, I don't know how Giants fans do it because they do these mental gymnastics where they have been the worst franchise in the past 5 years. They legitimately have been, wins and losses wise, the most poverty franchise in the NFL. But every single offseason, they talk themselves into a successful Giants season. It just doesn't make sense.
I got sucked into it too this year just because I really enjoyed that. Hard Knocks, the offseason Hard Knocks, Joe Shane, and just I like seeing that side of it. So I think I got sucked into the storylines there, and I was hopeful that they might, be better than 2 wins through 9 games. So I get it. And also when you're in New York, like y'all feel y'all drink the Kool-Aid with all y'all sports teams out there in New York.
Yeah, I would say so. The Knicks,
or maybe not in the upstate or not. I don't know.
No. I'm from New York, the state. We hype up our teams a little bit too much than they should. The teams that get the attention certainly do. The Jets you picked them for the division. I thought they were going to be competent this year. Not it's this bad. I've never really bought into the Giants. I root for the Giants. That's my second favorite football team.
Yeah.
If the Giants aren't playing against the Ravens, I'm rooting for the Giants in every single game that they play. And it's just been so sad to see letdown after letdown after letdown during this time post-Eli and the tail end of Eli Manning's career.
Yeah. It's been sad. It's been bad. And they were thought of as a great organization, and it's been quite the opposite ever since. Slow start out of the gates here. Almost like the speed of a turtle or a tortoise. Tina, didn't you just have your hands on a turtle? Or was it the tortoise?
It was a
What's the difference between
tortoise.
a turtle and a tortoise?
That's a conversation for
Tongue
another
twister.
day.
Turtle.
But
Turtle is if a tortoise and a turtle have a baby, it would be a tortoise. Tortoise?
Okay.
What was I saying earlier?
You're trying to get. You're saying turtle.
Turtle. It would be a turtle. Yeah.
Turtle.
Are there any
is the word.
turtles at the Palm Beach Zoo?
there are tortoises.
Okay.
There are turtles at the Palm Beach Zoo, but I got to hang out with the tortoises yesterday in the Aldebras at the Palm Beach Zoo. I went and did their animal experience with the Aldebras, and I got to give, the experience is giving them a massage. Which, like the dance move, like the car wash, like you're, wiping the car,
Is that a dance move?
Wash on, wash off.
Wash off, wash off. Yes, there you go.
Karate Kid.
Thank you, C-Cat. That's basically what you're doing. I got to give a massage on the shell, on the legs, on the neck. It was really cool. Actually, a very cool experience at the Palm Beach Zoo, and I've done so many other ones at the Palm Beach Zoo.
I have a question about how did their heads feel? How did the skin of the turtle feel? I imagine what the shell feels like. I've never touched a turtle, a turtle or a tortoise.
Well, I was with the tortoises and the Aldebras, and it's like a little scaly, but it's kind of cool. The shell itself is exfoliating. When I left, my hands were so soft.
Yeah.
Beyond soft.
Because it was almost.
It was
it's rough.
exfoliating. Yeah,
Okay,
it was rough. And I was, again, wash on, wash off.
Nice.
The whole shell. I got to meet Shelly, Petunia, Patch. And there's so many other ones in the exhibit. It was a really cool experience. And you can go experience it yourself. Go to palmbeachzoo.org/animal experiences. I've done ones with the capybara. I've done ones with the sloths, the koalas, and there's so many others that you can do. Go to palmbeachzoo.org/animal experiences.
Now, I do have to question you on something.
Oh, okay.
Did you think that this was a dance, the wash on, wash off thing?
I feel like that's like
a dance move?
Like a dance move, like wash on, wash off. I don't know.
No.
When
have
you're...
you? Because you're white, C-Cat.
Yeah.
And Tina, you are as well.
Better say and proud, not the day for that.
Well, you might get. I will refrain from commenting. I will refrain from commenting. But you might be close to some support for that. I will say this though, Tina. I've never heard of anybody doing the car wash dance.
I feel but you knew where I was going. So maybe it's not a dance move, but you knew what I was meaning when I did the hand. Wash off. The hand motion.
Yeah.
Yes,
I did.
Only Karate Kid.
Right, but I just didn't. When you alluded to it being a dance, I was like, oh my gosh, is this something that is going on that I didn't know about?
Like the shopping cart. You
Like,
you pick
do
up
the
from the
twist.
shelf, you put in the cart. Like
That's like a dance too.
that's totally under dance moves, funny.
The shopping cart.
For sure.
It's hard on radio, but what I've never heard.
She's
of
saying
The
it's
shopping
like
cart?
you're grooving and you're acting
Like-
like you're picking up something from an aisle and putting it in your cart.
Yeah, you got one hand on the cart. You get your right hand up into the shelf. You put in the cart. That's
So are y'all familiar with the Dougie? The Dougie.
Oh,
the Dougie. At least the Ducky.
Yeah.
The Dougie. Y'all are familiar with the
Dougie,
Dougie?
yes.
Yeah.
And the jig that goes alongside the Dougie. I'm from Houston. I'm from Southwest Houston, Mo City. And I grew up jigging, and we used to hit the Dougie way before the little "Teach Me How to Dougie" song that came out of Cali. That was some fake, corny stuff. This was my Dougie. Yeah,
Okay.
I know you were thinking "Teach Me How to Dougie."
Yes,
Yes.
I did.
Everybody does. That's
Everybody,
Not, that's
yeah.
not the origin of
The
it at all.
seniors, when I was in high school, they would dance and I would observe. Yes. They would do the Dougie.
Observe?
Observe.
Yes. Yeah. Listen, I'm not the one to
Why
start
is that
dancing.
the word? I'm
He's
observing
funny,
this.
but he's not a dancer.
How do you observe somebody dance?
Like,
You stand
okay,
there.
you take notes. Mental notes. You say, all right, that's how they act. That's how these older kids act. That's how I got to be cool when I'm a senior. Mike Volkwer, shout out. He was the best dancer in the senior class 2 years before I graduated.
That's the ultimate glaze.
He's got a big TikTok. He's a mailman now.
Really?
And he dances a bunch.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And you're still observing.
What's his TikTok? Shout out his TikTok right here.
I don't know. I'm not on TikTok.
Wow.
I'll get him sent to me.
All right, get it sent. I want to see this guy's TikTok. I will be the judge of how well his dancing skills are.
But the Dougie.
The Dougie, there are parts in when you're jigging where you'll do something where you will kind of reach up and grab and pull back. We've never
Called it the shopping
called
cart.
it the shopping cart.
Yeah.
There's-
I don't get
I
it.
could be wrong about the name of it.
The shopping cart.
I feel like that's.
Are there any other dance moves with a name that you can think of? Because if a shopping cart made the list,
Okay.
I'm fascinated on what else makes
There's the
list.
water sprinkler thing, right?
A sprinkler?
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
everybody
like the-
knows that one.
It's like the Disney Channel original joke dance move for
Right.
sure.
Right. And I'm aware of that one.
Mm-hmm.
The
jerk.
The jerk
but that came from a song,
That
right?
came from a song, and that's just you're hitting the reject, which is like the backwards high steps.
Oh, there's a name for the dance move. That's not the name of the dance move. I didn't really. The reject is the backward
When
running man.
you're doing the backwards running man thing, that's rejecting.
I can do that.
Okay, and then the rest, like the entirety of the dance, including like the getting down and like doing all the other
shmoney dance
stuff, is the jerking portion of it. Excuse me, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about dancing, and you said the shmoney dance.
Yes, about a week ago.
The Bobby Shmurda.
Where
you throw the head up and saying it's kind of like a lean. It's a more exaggerated, like a lean back type.
That was a big high school one.
Huge one. Did you ever hit the shmoney dance?
I don't think so.
Great time.
Should have been there.
There are some elite. I'll never do I don't like dancing especially super big in public these days anymore. But growing up, man, some elite dance moves. We came from now they're doing TikToks and stuff.
That's true. It's training wheels.
Choreographed dances. Those are weird.
And those kids are comfortable setting up their phone in their room to dance in front of it.
They're not just doing it in their room. I was in D.C. on U Street I want to say about a month or two ago, hanging out. It's 1 a.m. We got in line for this ice cream shop that happened to still be open. And off to the side here, there's these girls. They have their phones propped up against the building, and they're just doing dances. They're in a line doing dances in public. Hundreds of people's walking the street. We're all drinking. We're having a good time, but they're outside of an ice cream parlor doing dances in the middle of U Street in D.C. And I said, what the hell happened to my people?
My kid ever does a TikTok dance for their online audience, I'm revoking their phone privileges.
Yeah.
They'll never leave the house again, as a matter of fact. They don't deserve to talk to the common folk.
They would, in order to get out of that, in order to break out of that, they would need a presidential pardon. That's what they would need. Tina, there's nowhere that you can just go and pick up a presidential pardon. You can't purchase one. You can't buy it. You got to get it from the executive office yourself.
Killer segue. Let's go.
But there's plenty of places you can go to get some clothes. One in specific in Palm Beach Gardens that can have you looking fine and dandy.
Yes, clothes. You can get some food. You can even get a car if you want.
Yeah.
The Gardens Mall has everything that you need, all under one roof. Encounter a blend of luxury brands, trends, amenities, mixed with full-service restaurants, quick bites, and interactive experiences at the Gardens Mall that's located 1 mile east of I-95 on PJ Boulevard. The blend of award-winning architecture, fine art, and natural landscaping with popular amenities, signature events, and innovative retail mix makes the Gardens Mall the premier shopping destination in Palm Beach County. The holidays are coming up, and the Gardens Mall is going to be decorated again with all the holiday fun, so stay tuned and visit the Gardens Mall, again located 1 mile east off I-95 on PJ Boulevard.
Ooh, a lost art of the holidays because of, the other ways you can do it is day of shopping at the place at the Gardens Mall, like when you need the gift that day, wrap it up that night.
Yeah.
I love the energy and the frenzy of shopping on Christmas Eve.
Me too. I actually love that too.
Yeah, but that's like training wheels for it. But Christmas Eve shopping is the best.
It's sick.
It is sick and get kind of hostile sometimes. But when I would fly back from Oklahoma to New York, I had no choice but to buy the gifts the day of because you can't fly with gifts like that. So I would do it, and I loved it. I spent 3 hours in the mall or the stores around it. Oh, I love doing it. You kind of get yourself a coffee. You walk around. You have that, what's the Jingle Bell, the Jingle Bell rock song playing in your head.
Music. Yeah.
I love that rush. Do that this year at the Gardens Mall.
Yes.
Do that at the Gardens Mall.
Do it.
And in the stores, I'm sure there's going to be some stores that'll play the music for yourself. You don't have to sing it to yourself like CCAT does.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in the show, the Arnold Schwarzenegger, not the show, the movie. You ever see that one where he needs to get the Turbo Man toy for his kid? No?
Terminator?
Jingle All the Way.
That's
You've
what it's
never
called?
watched Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger? It also has, I believe, Ice-T in it. No, it doesn't have Ice-T in it. It has someone who's famous.
Just making up people?
No, it's a great movie, and everyone who's listening right now knows what I'm talking about.
Have you seen Jingle All the Way, Tina?
No, I have not. But
Thank
I'm
you.
going to tease this. On December 2nd, 12 Days of Christinamas, we'll be back with the Gardens Mall. And I'm so excited.
Is that where you go to the Gardens Mall every day and buy something?
No, Theo. 12 Days of Christinamas, I will sing a song, and every single day I will give a movie quote from a famous holiday film, and whoever calls in first and gets the correct movie of the quote will receive a Gardens Mall gift card.
What's your favorite Christmas movie?
Elf.
Huh.
It's tough.
You're going to say Die Hard, aren't you?
No,
You're one of those people?
No, I've never seen Die Hard. I do not care to partake in that argument.
Yeah,
I'll be
me
honest.
neither.
It was like, is it a hot dog or sandwich?
I'm like, all right, dude, like, get the hell out of my face.
See, I like Elf, but it's one of those things where you see it so many times where it loses the luster. Where it is a good movie, it is a funny movie.
It's a great movie.
What?
How many times have you watched Elf?
Dude, I've got cable, so on TBS, it's Elf all day, every day when it comes to the holidays.
Wow.
The actor I was thinking of was Sinbad. Sinbad is also in the movie Jingle All the Way, and that would be my favorite Christmas movie, I've got to say. If you haven't seen Jingle All the Way, you got to watch it now. Like, it's a good movie by itself, not even have to be during Christmas time.
Okay. I like it. Not mad at it. I'm not refuting it. I just haven't seen it, and I don't think it's a must watch. I'm just saying. On the other side, though, we are going to do our midday midterms as well as get the last call from Tina. And I am curious of this because there is a Diana Rossini tweet from The Athletic that says the Titans are receiving calls right now on a trio of defenders, one of which is Jeffrey Simmons, who is a complete difference maker, who can change literally any game, specifically a playoff game. On the other side, we're going to have the Dolphins discussion and whether or not Miami needs to be sellers because their season's over and they need to kick the can down the road and get some future assets. That's a necessary conversation to be had. That's Tina, that's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey. We are in the happy hour on Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hi, I'm Michael Manzo, owner and founder of Manzo's Italian Deli, and
Stop, Dad. After 20 years, people are tired of hearing your voice.
Yeah, and your lame-ass commercials.
Fresh prosciutto, mozzarella, outstanding.
Oh, please.
There's only one reason Manzo's has voted #1 deli in Palm Beach County for 20 years. Our mother.
She makes sure you prepare everything from scratch using only the freshest ingredients.
Manzo's Italian Deli is located on Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, right next to Rain Dancers.
Is that a strip club?
No, it's a steakhouse. Manzo's is open weekdays from 8 to 5 and offers free delivery. So stop by or call 697-9411. That's 697-9411.
we also specialize in hot and cold catering for corporate functions and special events.
Just ask anyone who was at my last birthday party.
Hurricane fans, the final game of the season is here. Join us on November 23rd at Hard Rock Stadium as the Hurricanes take on the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest. It's Senior Day, a day to honor the incredible players who have given their all to the U. Let's give them a send-off they'll never forget and fill the stadium with Hurricanes pride. Don't miss out. Get your tickets today by visiting MiamiHurricanes.com or by calling 1-800-GO-CANES.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
Time now for a PNC pause. PNC Bank is committed to helping the customers and the communities they serve move forward financially. See how they can make a difference for you at PNC.com.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Join us for the Coors Light College Football Game of the Week as we feature Texas taking on the University of Florida. The ESPN West Palm Street team will be at Bonefish Max in Port St. Lucie Saturday, November 9th from noon until 2. Enjoy $4.75 drafts and buckets of ice-cold Coors Light for $18.75. Show us your tailgate toss skills for a chance to win prizes, courtesy of Palm Beach Autographs. Must be 21 or older to participate. Molson Coors reminds you to please drink responsibly.
F45 Training, West Palm Beach offers functional group fitness classes reimagined. Sign up for F45 today and visit their West Palm Beach location. Featuring high-intensity group workouts that are fast, fun, and results-driven, F45 always has the right workout for you. Not to mention, it takes just 45 minutes. Visit F45training.com today to find a studio near you and officially join the F45 Training family. F45, team training, life-changing.
Hi, it's Luis Fonsi. What makes a performer truly legendary? How about being the #1 bestseller for 47 straight years? That's what Ford F-Series trucks have done every year since 1976. For generations, hard-working South Floridians have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, and families. A legacy of capability and technology. Ford trucks, perfect for South Florida. See your local Ford dealer today.
ESPN 1063 is presented by Rubenstein Law. 1-800-FL-LEGAL. Car accident, truck accident, Uber or Lyft accident, or a slip and fall. Call Rubenstein Law. Call 1-800-FL-LEGAL and visit one of our offices throughout Florida.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
It's ESPN 1063, your home for live sports presented by Hard Rock Bet. Home of the Miami Dolphins, Miami Hurricanes, and all of the biggest football matchups throughout the week. Hard Rock Bet, it's Florida's official sports book. Try Hard Rock Bet now and receive up to $100 back in bonus bets if your first bet does not win. Hard Rock Bet, roll with us. It's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned by gambling, call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
We're about to get on the get around, but first I got to address something that was specifically mentioned and tweeted at ESPN West Palm, CCAT. Now, usually I don't do this. Tina, I'm not the type to take up any kind of sword for our people, but I'm going to do it, CCAT. I'm feeling feisty on this Tuesday.
Let's go.
Oh.
It's a guy named Danny Falcon.
Thank you for watching and listening.
Danny Falcon. Appreciate the love, Danny. But he messages us and he says, ESPN West Palm, question. Why don't any of you ever say Tua's last name correctly? It's not Tagovailoa. There is no U or N in his name. Danny Falcon. Tua's actually told us. He said it multiple times on the microphone. In fact, before he even got in the league and I was covering the SEC in South Georgia, he told us how to pronounce his name. He's one of those guys that's not a huge stickler for it, so he deals with a lot of people mispronouncing it here in America. But it is Tagovailoa. That's just how you pronounce it. Now, I get that the English language and the way that our alphabet, 26 letters, are structured and our words are put together, that sometimes it's not sounding the way it looks. That trips a lot of people up in many instances, but a lot of times, Danny, when it comes to names, you don't even have to Google it. You can just ask the person and they'll tell you. And he said Tagovailoa, so we call him Tagovailoa. So that's it, Danny. Appreciate you tweeting at us, though. You also could have probably Googled it and found how to say it as well. It's crazy how great the internet is. You don't even need AI for that. Before we get into the get around here, I do want to tell you about Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Is joint pain affecting your quality of life? At Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, our team is experienced in traditional joint replacement surgery, as well as new, less invasive treatments with the goal of returning you to what you love as quickly as possible. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more about baptisthealth.net/ortho. He's not Dwayne Wade. It's not Dirk. I forget. It's Nowitzki, but it's spelled Nowitzki. It's one way or the other. It's not like sometimes in the English language, letters are silent and some words are not pronounced the way that you would think they would be. C-Cat, let's hop on to Get Around.
I get around. What you mean you don't know? I get around.
The Get Around is our vehicle to hit the hottest topics across the nation and all around the place. And you know what? I'm going to take over the Get Around. I'm going to commandeer it, and I'm going to tell you where our first stop is.
Next stop.
It's going to be Miami Gardens, Miami, Florida, where the Dolphins sit, and they stood pat at the trade deadline. They have not made a move to sell nor buy, though Drew Rosenhaus told us on WSVN that they were going to be buyers likely at the deadline. I don't think the Dolphins season is going anywhere from here. They've already lost to the Big Bad Bills twice. They're not going to chase a wild card. In fact, no team in the history of the NFL has started 2-6 and made the postseason without winning their division. Only 3 teams have done it. All 3 won their divisions because they were in poor divisions. The Bills are 7-2. It's not happening. The Dolphins need to be sellers, and they got about 15 minutes, CCat.
Yeah, they're playing in the same division of a possible league MVP.
Yeah. You're talking about Josh Allen, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm saying you're raining on my parade about a month ago about how Josh Allen is nowhere near the MVP because he lost to a couple of good teams in a row.
Yeah.
You know what? Josh is still there.
He's in the race still, but it's going to bear itself out. They still have not really beaten a good team.
Where do you rank?
Seahawks is the best team they've beaten.
MVP candidates right now, 1 through 3.
Number 1, Jared Goff has to be in there.
Whoa, I did not think you were going to say his name this early.
Yeah, Jared Goff, he has to be in there. I'm not saying he's number 1 because I think he also is more of a product of his environment as well as he's been really good in it. So Goff is in the 3. I think Mahomes still has to be in the 3.
Still waiting for a name. I'm shocked.
Oh, I'm tripping. Lamar Jackson's number 1.
Okay. I'm saying Derrick Henry should be in the top 5.
Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry have a really good chance of barking their way in there. As great and elite as Derrick Henry has been, the Eagles have needed Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
They've leaned on him and relied on him, and if he wasn't there, they might have a losing record right now. People are kind of sleeping on that storyline.
Next stop.
Going to Jersey, the Dirty Jers, because the Devils, they got cute on Twitter to gain viewers last night. They sent out a tweet that stated, quote, "If you don't have the stomach to watch the Chiefs win on a late flag, make sure to tune into a real game, the Devils game, regular season hockey."
Yeah, nobody did that. Also, the Chiefs won on a game-winning touchdown, and it was a thrilling finish, Tina. So they can stop hating on my team and the team of your favorite pop artist.
I know. That was such a hater tweet.
Yeah. Jealous. They're jealous of the views. They mad because they don't stack paper or throw touchdowns like my boy Patrick Mahomes.
And T Swift was back in the building.
She was. Had a good fit on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird because it's the Devils. So if it was like a city like Cleveland where there's a clear, this is our hockey team, this is our football team, this is our basketball team, you kind of hold the flag for your team. It's not like the Chiefs have ever screwed over the Jets or the Giants. Never been in a position to do that thing.
I bet you whoever was on the social media team for the Devils, maybe their NFL affiliation, either they're a Chiefs hater or their NFL affiliation might be a rival of the Chiefs, so they're predestined to,
I guess
maybe poke the bear a little bit. Plus, they just want to go viral. Like, we're never going to talk about the Devils' regular season hockey unless they do something like that. Involve themselves with the NFL.
Fair enough.
Stir up the pot a little bit. Make yourself relevant. Get on the bandwagon.
Stop.
Get on the Get Around.
Well, it was college basketball opening night, so we're going to go to Spokane, Washington, because number 6 Gonzaga, they kicked the crap out of number 8 Baylor, 101-63 in Garbage Town. I
was the same.
I'm trying to do 3 things at once. I'm trying to do 3 things at once because the computer crashed.
You will never be allowed in Washington again.
Zags coach Mark Few, if you're familiar with his name. Well, Mark Few now has his son on his roster. It didn't go well for Joe Few because we found out his name last night for all the wrong reasons. When in garbage time, this is what happened.
Might blow the roof off this place if Joe Few scores.
Well, he might score.
And a steal for Josh Ojonwuna.
Joe Few!
PJ Edgecombe, my goodness.
He got dunked on.
Joe Few.
Poor guy gets in the game.
Oh, so Joe wasn't
the game, Joe. Welcome to the game.
Joe,
oh, that's tough. Oh. You know what, though?
Joe tried.
He did.
He tried.
You're so concerned, Theo.
I thought that Joe set the roof off. I thought he made a huge play.
So Joe Few didn't make a huge play. Joe Few was on the wrong side of a huge play. Maybe the dunk of the year on college basketball opening night. He got dunked on in front of his home building, in front of his pops, his mom, his dad. Everyone was watching.
Tina, it was an obliteration. It was bad.
Oh.
And, I mean, for those of you that are rooting against the art, I mean, come on. Who said nepotism was bad? Nepotism delivered it. Like, that was amazing. That was amazing.
Poor guy.
Poor guy. He's going to be on SportsCenter top 10. Joe Few. He made it on Theoretically Speaking. The dude almost cleared him. He almost jumped right over him, Vince Carter in the Olympic style, by the way.
Not everybody can be Buddy Boeheim with Syracuse Orange, if you remember. Buddy was good.
Buddy actually had a little jumper to him, a little stroke.
Not Joe Few.
Not Joe Few at all.
Next stop.
Nice little speed bump, though.
Last stop on the get-around, we're going to Kansas City, Missouri.
Yes, sir.
Because that was the site of Monday Night Football, where the Chiefs got the win. But what stuck out to me was pregame. Jason Kelce, he was in the news over the weekend. He was in State College, Pennsylvania, a place that I'm very familiar with, where a Penn State fan, we're assuming a punk Penn State fan,
probably one of your friends,
called his Travis Kelce a bad word in front of Jason Kelce, antagonizing, phone in his face. So what did Jason Kelce do? Took that phone that he was being recorded with, spiked it on the ground, jawed back at him, and they opened up the Monday Night Football broadcast with this from Jason Kelce.
You know, listen, I think everybody's seen on social media everything that took place this week. That's what I'm not happy with anything that took place. I'm not proud of it. And, you know, in a heated moment, I chose to greet hate with hate. And I just don't think that that's a productive thing.
Really shoot him or something?
I don't think that, you know, it leads to discourse. And it's the right way to go about things. And in that moment, I fell down to a level that I shouldn't have. We got to get.
He spiked his phone. Now, I think what he's referring to, though, C-Cat, was he repeated the word back at the kid, apparently. I didn't see that part of the video, but that's what people are saying.
Yeah, he did that, too. The bad word he said back at him.
So I think his problem is he works for Disney. He just got a $100 million deal for his podcast. His brother is dating and might end up marrying a pop star who is very liberal and has a very liberal fan base. You no matter the circumstances, if you say that word, that can get you in a little bit of muddy water with that population.
Did Jason Kelce and ESPN and Monday Night Football have to start the broadcast with that?
But maybe they tried to do it before people tuned in. I think it was weird placement to put it up front, but maybe they tried to get it out of the way before people tuned in and started tweeting about when are they going to mention it. So who knows? That was the get around. Stick around because we are going to give you a last call, but Tina's not going to do it. I'll do it on behalf of Tina because she has to run. That's C-Cat, that's Tina. It's the happy hour on Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Banyan Printing, your trusted printing, mailing, and signage partner in the Palm Beaches for over 45 years. Banyan Printing's new metallic ink press adds that extra shine so that your product comes out in glossy gold, sparkling silver, or any other color you want to shine. Banyan Printing is the official printer of Kaiser Athletics and would love to be your official printing partner as well. Order products and learn more about what Banyan Printing can do for your business at banyanonline.com or call 561-586-6220.
Time now for the Land Rover Palm Beach Player of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. Every Player of the Week is eligible to win a scholarship at the end of the year. This year, a $25,000 scholarship will be awarded to an athlete, with $10,000 going to the winner's high school athletic department. Land Rover Palm Beach, above and beyond. Here's Cade Chumsley.
Our Land Rover Palm Beach Player of the Week is Dwyer High School golfer Chandler Cantwell. In this week's district championship, Chandler had to par his last 2 holes to send the Panthers to the regional final, and he did just that. Here he is on helping to lead his young, star-studded team.
A change, being one of the younger guys, now being one of the seniors on the team, and it's a lot of fun being able to mentor them, take them under my wing, and we got some great talent on our team this year, and that's what's helped us, get all the way to regionals and hopefully, take that next step towards states.
Congratulations, Chandler, on being selected this week's Land Rover Palm Beach Player of the Week.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is Theoretically Speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
It's the last call here on Theoretically Speaking in the happy hour. It's also the last call for the NFL trade deadline. We're 7 minutes out. 7 minutes out from negotiations coming to a close and teams having to be settled with what their roster stands at today. So far, we had some huge names. Marshawn Lattimore, Pro Bowl corner from the Saints to the Commanders. We had Zadarius Smith, an edge from the Browns, going to the Lions for a 5th and a 6th round pick. Of course, Jonathan Mingo, the steal of the day. Last year's 2nd round pick wide receiver Jonathan Mingo from the Panthers to the Cowboys, who are all in. I mean, look at the receivers that got moved this year. DeAndre Hopkins, Devontae Adams, Deontay Johnson, Amari Cooper, and Jonathan Mingo.
Yeah, all in the toilet.
Man, it makes sense. It makes sense why when people look at you, they think intelligent, America, and funny.
Exactly.
Like,
I couldn't put it myself.
How could, yeah. I just came up with those words off top of the dome there.
Nice.
I'm really good at that. Make sure you go out and vote. I don't know how much time you still got left, but make sure you go out and vote at Vote Palm Beach. Palm Beach County Supervisor of Elections encourages you to make sure you do your due diligence as a citizen of these great states and make your vote count. I will say this one more time on the way out here. The Dolphins need to be sellers. And I know it's too late, and I know they still believe in their squad to claw and fight their way back into the wild card race in the AFC. But with the Steelers getting stronger, with the Bills being better, and the Jets still fancying themselves as a contender, I don't see a route in which the Dolphins can muster up enough to get to the 7th seed. I've seen their roster. I think it's more likely the Chiefs run the table and go perfect season than it is the Dolphins make the playoffs in the AFC.
Really? Something that only one team has ever done, ever?
Yes. Well, at least perfect regular season. I would say, and the Super Bowl, too. It's more likely the Chiefs go 20-0 than the Dolphins make the postseason. That's why Miami needs to be sellers. That's your last call. Your last call to Greer and McDaniel and everybody over there in Miami Gardens. Go in love, go in peace, go enjoy. Go vote.
Fans, the final game of the season is here. Join us on November 23rd at Hard Rock Stadium as the Hurricanes take on the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest. It's Senior Day, a day to honor the incredible players who have given their all to the U. Let's give them a send-off they'll never forget and fill the stadium